Welcome. We're coming you from the exhibition floor at HR Tech 2024. We're here with the wonderful Bersin team, Bill Pelster leading the way of showing us the Galileo platform that they're just launching now publicly out to the world in a couple weeks here, but it's been on the Josh Bersin Academy for a few months now, and we're excited to partner on this endeavor to bring in some wonderful skills data within the Galileo platform, which is basically like having an HR analyst or HR business partner in your pocket to help you answer any of the questions that you have around any HR strategy, talent strategy, where do we find jobs, where do we look for jobs, how do we build interview guides, so many wonderful ways that we can do this. So Bill, I was wondering if we could just give a little preview of where this platform is going, what the capabilities are, and what we can show off today in terms of what are some of those common questions that we're seeing from customers that we're saying, hey, if I had an assistant sitting right next to me that would have my labor law answers, that has my workforce planning answers in my pocket, what would be a way that we could start?
Great, Mark, and so let's do this. Let's take the role of an HR business partner, and one of the most common things they do is create a job, then the posting, and coordinate all the hiring process. And so this one actually came to us, which was trying to hire a chemical engineer. So I'm going to do a couple of steps that normally would have taken an HR business partner several hours to do. I'm going to try to find out what cities, because we're a global company, and we can be anywhere in the United States. So what cities has the largest concentration of chemical engineers? Kind of what is their salary range, so I get a perspective, the cost of living and so forth. And if we like that, then what are the technical skills and behavioral skills that I really should be concerned about? And then if we're still happy with that, why not turn that into a job posting? And then we'll take it from there.
I love it. No, that's great. And so what Bill will show here is the ease of which, just like a Chat GPT, but with all of the power of 20 years of Josh Bersin research with some of our wonderful partner data, and as well as some of the Lightcast insights, being able to say, show me all the top U.S. cities for a chemical engineer and what's their salary range. Help me prioritize the markets. You could zero in on markets that only you have locations at, but this will give us a top-level preview of what we expect to find in this market. Now that we have a handle on, okay, this is some markets we want to be focused on. Maybe we look at saying, okay, well, what are some of the top skills I should be looking for a chemical engineer, so I can help zero in on how I should be prioritizing what I should look for. So Bill's pulling up the top 5 technical and the top 5 behavioral skills for a chemical engineer. This will give us an idea for skills we should be prioritizing when we're recruiting. What are some of the top ones that we should be adding to speaking with the hiring manager that's looking to hire this job? And we can clearly see, here's more of the technical side with chemical engineering, chemical modeling and process, looking at problem solving, attention to detail, teamwork. And we can take this list and we can say, now, where did these come from? It's all sourced by where the data is coming from the different partner documents as well as the research documents, and it's showing that for each result, as well as giving the files up at top so that you can always audit trail exactly where your data is coming from. Next, we could take this list and say, now turn this into a job posting. I want to be able to start advertising for this job. Let's help jumpstart that process with the hiring manager and the recruiter to say, let's create a wonderful formatted job posting to jumpstart this process.
And Mark, what's really interesting in all this is we're actually having a conversation. So as we ask it questions, the fact that we're in this threaded conversation, it understands the questions we previously asked, so it has the context to continue to ask this.
Yeah, so Bill zeroed in on choosing San Jose and some of the details that would be appropriate for this particular location, given the salary range, looking at the key responsibilities, bringing in those technical skills, which we had from the previous thread, the behavioral skills, and then also adding in those qualifications and some of the benefits information. And this works well with if you already have a job posting template that you already use within your company and a different framework that you use, that can be loaded in and it can fit that framework for what you've already developed. So now that we have the job posting, now we're going to hopefully start interviewing very soon after this gets posted. So how about we ask it to do a behavioral interview guide that can be associated with the interview process and helping us rank out those candidates. So Bill put in create a manager hiring guide that shows each question with samples of good responses and bad responses to give our leaders a helpful guide to manage that process. So wonderful questions. Describe a challenging project, very behavior-based. How did you ensure that success? Examples of what's good and why it's good. Examples of what's bad and things that you should be looking out for. And another fun thing that we had to do when I was in the corporate world was create a scoring matrix or a scoring rubric to say, if we're going to have multiple interviewers use this template and ask these same questions, how about we create some consistency and give them a scoring guide that we can compare notes after the interviews. So Bill just asked it to create a scoring matrix based on the above guide that we just created. It has the criteria, it has scores from 1 to 4, poor to excellent, and some examples of what that scoring is, and giving you definitions of what that scoring grid looks like. Now, Bill, I wonder if we could look at, okay, what are, switching lanes a little bit, thinking about a succession plan. We had this question earlier from one of our favorite customers, and they said, maybe I'm using this as a backfill. Is there maybe a different job that we should be thinking about for moving this role into? So Bill's writing to create a succession plan for a senior leader to move into the role of CEO and show the key skills and behaviors. He's adding in some additional context to this prompt, which it can handle a lot of text to be able to make this as specific as possible, and the results get really, really wonderful the more you add. Anything you want to add, Bill?
No, and the beauty of this is, again, just going back, everything we have here really solves for the problem of trust. And so the whole idea is to take that HR business partner who would spend hours trying to craft that and get them from 0 to 80% very quickly. And then the last 20% is their organization, the fine-tuning, the nuances. That's so quick and important.